Hey friends, in this video I will show you some basic PowerShell command that will help you to get the basic informations related with your PC, as well as also this will be helpful for troubleshooting the issues. So I'm going to open the PowerShell ISE here. In the very first command I'm just trying to access the public IP address of my machine. So what I will do, I will use this PowerShell command, that is $public address. This is a variable where I'm just calling the ifconfig.me/IP. This is a URL that is calling through the invoke -web request, and this will just give the public IP address of my machine through the right host message. I am going to select this one and will execute this selected PowerShell script. So we'll click over here. Now you can see this is the public IP address of the machine. This is 122.161, and similarly, if you just want to check the active network connections from your local machines to remote IP address. So what you will do, you will execute this PowerShell command, that is Get-NetTCPConnection where object established, and this is the local address, local port, and remote address. So I'm going to select this PowerShell script and will execute through the clicking run selection. Now you can see this is just prompting us to fetch the details like local IP address, local port, remote address, and remote port as well. So this is the local host IP address where it is just using this port 64699, and this is locally just communicating because local address and remote address is the same. But if you go through with this IP address, so this is my local private IP address, and this is the port, and this is the public IP address where it is just trying to make a connection on the port number 443. Now in the next PowerShell command, that is Get-NetIPAddress. So this will give the IP address of all interfaces on my machine which is just currently configured. So what I will do, I will just execute this PowerShell command by clicking on this. Now you can see this is the InterfaceAlias because I am using VMware on my machine. So this I just created interface that is VMware Network Adapter 8 and 1. And similarly vEthernet, this is a Hyper-V Ethernet because I also using the Hyper-V on my machine. So this I just given the Hyper-V Ethernet as well. And similarly this is loopback, and this is VMware again, and this is the local area connection, and this is the Ethernet. So this is the Ethernet where the IP address is mentioned over here. Now if you just want to check the all running process on your machine, so what you will do, you will just use this PowerShell command, and this will prompt all the running processes on your machine, and you can just check the PID as well as the process name by executing this PowerShell command. Now you can see these are the processes which are running on my machine, and here ID is also mentioned. So this will just prompt not only the process name, but this will also prompting the ID as well as the CPU utilization of your processes as well. Now in the next command, that is find large files. Suppose if you just want to check the most 10 files which are larger in your any directory. Currently I'm just trying to find out inside the downloads folder. So I just mentioned the path. So first you need to use the get-child item, and then you need to specify the path, and the type is file, and ascending or descending, it is completely depending on you. And after that you need to specify the first 10, name and length. So this will show the first 10 files which are larger inside the download folder. So you need to execute this PowerShell command, and this will just prompt the details. So I'm going to select this one and will execute. Now you can see this is just prompting the largest file on the top, and similarly this is the second one, and till this is the last 10th file. So you can just get the informations through the get hyphen child item hyphen path, and then you need to specify the path and ascending or descending, or you can also specify the first 10 or 20. It is completely dependent on you. It depends on you. Name and length. Now if you just want to check the OS name and CPU architecture of your computer, so you will execute this PowerShell command, that is get hyphen computer info select object OS name and OS architecture. So I am going to execute this one. Now you can see currently I am using Windows 11 and OS architecture is 64-bit. Now if you just want to check the disk size of your machine, so you can execute this PowerShell command, get hyphen WMI object Win32 underscore logical disk, and you can specify the device ID, volume name, and then if you want to check in through the GB or MB, it is completely dependent on you. If you don't want to use this one, so you can just delete. Now this will just prompt only the size inside like bytes. You need to delete completely by this line, so this will prompt the size inside the bytes. But if you want to see inside the GB, so you need to use this PowerShell command with your get hyphen WMI object Win32 logical disk and select object device ID and volume. Now I'm going to execute this one, and you can see this is just showing the number of device ID like C, D, E and volume, free space and size inside the GB. So this has just given the complete disk size related information through this PowerShell command. Now if you just want to check the last 10 system events, so what you will do, you will just execute get hyphen event log name system. If you want to see the events related with the application, so you need to change like application or system. It is completely dependent on you. I am going to use system, so this will prompt the 10 newest system events. I am going to execute now. You can see that the 10 system events are showing over here, 1 to 10. Now if you just want to check the all scheduled tasks which are just currently running on your machine, so what you need to do, you will just execute this PowerShell command, get hyphen scheduled task and select object task name and state. So this will prompt all the scheduled tasks which are just currently configured on your machine. So you need to just execute this one. So these are the tasks which are just currently running on my machine, either that is disabled or enabled. You can find this all. So this is very basic command that will help you to finding the scheduled tasks which are running on the machine. Similarly, if you want to just check the all Hyper-V VMs on your machine, so you can execute this PowerShell command, that is get hyphen VMs and where object state running. So this will just only prompt or show the running VMs on your Hyper-V machine. So I am going to execute now. So currently there are no machines which are just running on my Hyper-V. Now if you just want to find any file extension, suppose if you just want to find any files which is having the extension that is .txt, so you can execute this command here. What you need to do, you need to specify the get hyphen child item hyphen path and the location where you just want to search. Suppose if you will specify C drive or D drive, so this will just search inside the C drive or D drive. But in my case, I am going to just trying to finding the .txt file inside the downloads location. So I just specified my user profile and downloads location. So this will just filter the .txt file. If you just want to find any XLS file, so you need to specify the XLS over here. Now I'm going to execute it, so this will just prompt all .txt files from this location. So currently there are no any files which is related with the .txt in this location, but in your case you can find out and you can just cross check this .txt file through the PowerShell command by using this get hyphen child item and path and then filter. Now if you just want to check all the local accounts which are created on your machine, so what you will do, you will just use this PowerShell command get hyphen local user select hyphen object name and enabled. So this will prompt only enabled users which are just created on your machine and which are running. Now I'm going to execute this PowerShell command. Now you can see these all are the users currently which are created and which are just available on your machine. So this is administrator, default account, guest, NX and PRABH. So this is also enabled. So these are the basic commands that really helpful for you to find out the basic informations, as well as also this will help you to troubleshoot the issues from your machine. Thank you for watching this video.